What's up, guys? MainManSWE here, hoping you're all doing awesome as always. And welcome back to another Tekken Revisited video, where I dig through the old trash heap, garbage can of Tekken history. And today, I'm in Season 4 actually, the latest patch of a game, but I have access to Launch Leroy. Did you just get PTSD? Anytime someone says that, I just want to cover my ears. So this is the first iteration of this character. So basically a final boss. There's no other way of putting it. He was so overpowered. And too bad, you know, he had the drip. He had the swag, the charisma. What an amazing visual design. I was so looking forward to him. And then, unfortunately, he's just super busted beyond belief. And I still almost can't stand Leroy because all I think of is his release version. And after 70 individual nerfs, he's still top 5. Yeah, he was pretty good. I consider him the most overpowered Tekken character of all time. When we say that, we think of characters like, you know, Tekken 5 Steve, Tekken 4 Jin. But the thing is, you can't look at these characters in a vacuum. Tekken 4 Jin had a competition by that guy, Tekken 4 Steve. You could argue he was even stronger than Jin. Or it was very close. It was debatable. Tekken 5 Steve had competition from his mom, Nina, Feng Wei, Brian, Devil Jin. When this guy dropped, he was like twice as strong as the runner-up. You did have Geese, you did have Akuma. We can also talk about like arcade version Akuma. Also, you could say he was the most busted of all time. Fakum Ram, when he dropped in Season 3. Bandai Namco, the Tekken developers, they were on a roll with Season 3, weren't they? One insult after another. Fakum Ram also still top 5 after a million nerfs. Beautiful, isn't it? But what I wanted to do in this video is explain in detail what made Leroy so offensive, so incredibly busted, because I feel like a lot of people don't know exactly what it was. Let's just start with the damage. Let's say Leroy lands on orbital. This wasn't very hard to do, considering his orbital makes Brian's orbital look like a baby attempting a jumping kick. We're gonna get into details on all of this, but I land on orbital now, Steve. Kablam. Boom, boom. Very easy combo here. That was, with no execution, 77 damage. And he would get this type of damage, same combo after any launch. No brain cells required, no execution. That was 83. This is far beyond average damage. Far beyond average damage. This alone, very problematic. Now, down 1+2. This is the best attack to ever be featured in Tekken 7. Those are really big words, but it is absolutely true. This is the best attack ever in Tekken 7. So let's break it down. This is a mid. Do you note the reach on this move? Yeah. Note the reach. Mid, plus 17 frames, so it's very fast. Long range mid, +6 on hit. Has a very low hitbox, as you can see. On counter hit, full launch, right? Let's take a look at the damage here again. That was 80 damage. But worst of all, if this is blocked, Leroy is at an advantage. Oh, block! Because it's neutral on block, 0, so no one would have an advantage here, right? But it forces crouch on the opponent. You see, they get down on their knees in front of a mighty Leroy and his drip. So yeah, advantageous on block. And it tracks a lot to one side, to his right. So the interesting thing here is that if your opponent is playing on player 1 and he blocks this, and if I do another one, he can't sidestep it. Because due to a design mistake and design flaw in the Tekken 7 system, if you force a crouch on block, they can only sidestep towards the background and not towards the camera. This is a design flaw in this game. So if you're on player 1 and I'm doing this into this again, you can't sidestep, because the only way for you to go is towards the background. and that's towards my right shoulder. This move tracks towards my right shoulder. So you wouldn't want to play player 1 against Leroy. You better get your ass to player 2. Yeah, but this move it's the best attack ever. I mean, look at the reach. This is a mid counter hit launcher that forces crouch, neutral, and block. I mean, it's hard to describe how good this is. It no longer launches on counter hit. It has had its reach greatly nerfed. It doesn't force crouch anymore. It's now -6 on block, I think. -4 to -6. It's been nerfed many, many times. And this is something we see with many of his moves, like back 1+2, down 2-4, which the developers have chopped at these moves over and over and over, getting massive nerfs, multiple nerfs, because they were just so over-dimensioned on release. They had to take them down multiple times because before it even was remotely balanced. Back 1+2, this is also a move where you could argue it is the best move of all time on release. It's still absolutely amazing and godlike. But so what is this? This is a 12-frame mid counter hit launcher. So this is faster than the universal down forward 1. And it still remains a 12-frame counter hit launcher. Yeah. Yeah, again, just hard to describe how strong this is. But the release version, for some reason, had more reach, and -5 with huge pushback. So super safe. It's still safe at -9 with very little pushback, but for some reason on launch, huge pushback, -5, and with more reach. Yeah, you could argue it's even better than down 1+2. So we're already like, it's just unbelievably overpowered. Literally God mode, God buttons, these two. And now his orbital that makes Brian, you know, the god of the orbital, this makes Brian's orbital look like an absolute joke. 21 frames fast, super fast, lightning fast. Brian's is 25 frames. Brian's is -5 on block. This one, for some reason, -3 on block. Has decent tracking to both sides. Has a very low hitting hitbox where it can hit grounded. On launch, Leroy had an orbital that could hit grounded opponents. It no longer does this. And it also recovers faster on whiff. And it has insane reach. They nerfed the reach of the attack as well. Yeah, super broken. And now we have forward 3. This move, you could also argue, is absolute god mode. So this is like an electric and homing. You'll see, note the frames here. Okay, +1. You can get this all the way to like +5, depending on how late it hits. Wait, I'm gonna remove a tech roll to demonstrate this. If it hits late in the animation, this has enormous plus frames. Okay. +4. I think we can get this all the way up to like +6. So that's +5. +5. But always plus at least. So point blank, +1. I'm at an advantage, right? If I jab and you jab, my jab connects. So, okay, super long range, right? Plus frames on block, homing. Okay, so it's super good, right? This you get on all characters. But what is this? What is this? Oh, 85 damage, right? But this was only something you could only do on more buff male characters. And let's say a lot of buff male characters are really popular. Brian, the third most popular character in the game. Paul, the most popular character in the game. King, Armor King, both super popular. You can do this on them. And many more characters. Miguel, Dragunov, etc. So this hits, you do a little step towards the left, micro step towards the left, and you get all of this. So again, if you do the down to 4 ender, that's 85 damage. Also a move that has received multiple iterations of nerfs. So again, super long range, homing, plus on block high. That basically kills the opponent. Yeah. Depending on the character they play. Unbelievably busted move yet again. Oh god. We haven't even talked about his Pimp Cane, the original Pimp Cane. Note that this is still an absolutely dumb move today. It's like an extra rage drive. But the release version, bap, 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 plus 8. So the opponent can't do anything. They have to respect you. Can't do anything. Yeah, homing, super long range mid-launcher. And the release version did 10 more damage. Today it does 35, which is already like insane damage. Original version, 45 damage on its own. That was 105 without rage, right? Yep, that is 105 damage from a plus 8 homing long range mid launcher. But you can do it any time. You don't need rage. Okay, we're already starting to understand, right, why this character is the most busted of all time. Oh my god, and his down for the 1. The universal mid check we have in Tekken, right? 13 frame. For some reason, Leroy gets one that hits really, really low, which means you can literally dash jab with it. You see, it connects very close to the ground. Has good reach. Good reach. And for some reason, today it's -3, -1 on block. One of the very few. He actually is -1. For some reason, with everything this character has, it was -1, and it also had double follow-ups. Mid-high, -1, mid-mid. For some reason, he had this. I do not know why. Oh, his jab. 1-1, -7 on block. If you noticed that this count, you gotta counter it, like your opponent pressed, you would confirm this. 10 frame counter hit string, almost 50 damage. Wall splat. Super busted. And was easy to hit confirm. Super busted. His parry recovered super fast, you see? Quickly we can do them in succession. And did 10 more damage than it does today. Down back 1 free. The second hit does more damage. Launch version does less damage today, but the frames are the same. But the mid version, down back 1+2, for some reason was safe. So mid-high, safe. Mid-mid, safe. Usually, when a character has this type of string in this game, the mid version is unsafe. But Leroy, it was safe. This today is now -10 with 0 pushback. But still remains... oh shit. The mid version still remains a counter hit launcher to this day. If I can get this to work. Oh my god, the reach. Yeah, counter hit launcher. And then we have another insane attack. 4-4-2-2. For some reason, this did 28 damage without counter hit on originally. Today, it does 21 damage. So it used to do 7 more damage. I don't know why. Minus 13. Still minus 13 today, but with 0 pushback. It used to have pushback. This meant that if a Leroy did this with, from tip range, a lot of characters couldn't punish it. And this was a tracking, long-range mid-launcher. This move was absolutely crazy. Overtuned. Back 1. 11 frame counter it. 50 damage. This does 5 less today. It does 45. Down to 4. This move has been nerfed. I don't know how many times, how many iterations it's been nerfed. And it's because it was, I don't know, the best low in the game on release. I think it was. And this is still great today. So you press down 2. It's super fast. Immediately, you know, beats all highs. He ducks down, high crushes. Does 15 damage, right? The first hit. It's only minus 12 on block. This is launch punishable today. The first hit here is minus 15. Minus 15, and it only does 11 damage. Here's 15. Does a chunk. And the second hit, which you can delay, it's only minus 11. So most characters, you know, they have a chunky 12 frame Punisher. For lows, you can't do it. It's only minus 11. Right? Today, that second hit is minus 13 and only does 11 damage. Here, it does 17 damage. So it's been... yeah, the move is a shadow of its former self, but it's still great. It's just that the first version of this move was just... Yeah, it's like when you look at his mids and you look at his lows, and his house sweep did more damage than it does today. So, yeah, interesting stuff to say the least. And then we have his old wall combo. He used to do 37 damage. This one. 37. Does 33 today. They nerfed the damage of the Hermit Orbital and they nerfed the damage of a ground pound itself. Both of those do 2 less. So it went from 37 to 34. So it's still absolutely crazy. But yeah, it used to do 37. Yeah. So yeah, this was my rundown of God Leroy. The problem is there's more stuff one could show, but I'm gonna leave it there. And I do want to say that Leroy still remains a massive problem. He's still overtuned. He's still way too easy to play. Just to demonstrate how dumb he is, in my opinion, in terms of just very basic design flaws. Like, if Leroy is standing right here next to you, he can back 4, right? This is safe on block. -8. Huge reach, mid, homing, +11 on block, right? Sorry, on hit. So if you eat this, again, safe on block, but if you eat it, massive advantage resetting the situation, right? And I can mix this up with his hell sweep, which has good reach, very good reach for a hell sweep, is very fast at 18 frames, and is homing. So this means that if I'm standing 1 step away from you, and I use this 50-50, all you can do is take a guess. Because long reach, and they're both homing. If you're going up against a Mishima, you can sidestep towards the left to option select, right? The 50-50, to force them to use homing moves. Leroy Literally, all you can do when he's in your face is take a guess. Either block mid or block low. So this is just it's very lazy design. Very lazy. Doesn't work. Still remains a massive problem to this day. But yeah, I hope you understand why I consider him the most busted Tekken character of all time. It's because you can't look at the characters in a vacuum. What were they going up against? And Leroy, with these buttons, it was just... And the ease of use and the damage, there was nothing like it. Oh. But again, we're gonna look at launch Vacuum Ram as well. Very problematic. I made a video on Arcade Akuma. But yeah, Leroy... Jesus Christ. Thank God they fixed it. Still remains a problem. Hopefully, I think he's going to be part of a base roster of Tekken 8. And I hope they do a very interesting rework. Maybe adds a tiny more bit of execution. And maybe tone him down a bit more. Not keep this stuff that I just explained. Yeah, I'm hoping for the best for future Leroy, because I do love design. So I hope you understand in detail what made him so problematic. And thank you so much for listening to me today. Take care, everyone.